Good morning and welcome. My name's Camille and I do primarily makeup for over 50s on YouTube and TikTok. And today we're going to do a look. I'm not sure exactly what kind of look yet because I'm in a mood to wing it. I hope that you have a couple minutes that you can hang out with me today and check this out. We're going to touch on a couple of points today that people have asked me specifically, and we're going to focus on wrinkles around the lips, bags under the eyes, which I'm very well equipped for this morning, and how to use the conic sponges. So there'll be plenty of other tips as well, I'm sure. If you have a comment, I will absolutely respond to you. I can't see without my glasses, so I may not be able to reply immediately. Let's get right into this though. So I am starting with my favorite VFX Pro. Hi from Texas. Yeah, definitely. When you hop in, tell me where you're watching from. That's so much fun. So I'm jumping in with one of my favorite primers. This one is by Pharmacy, and I'll put all the links to everything in the description later today when I have time. This one has a little bit of a luminous glow, and it's one of my go-to primers. I have a few favorites. The ones by Pharmacy are definitely my favorites. These two, and then the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. So they all kind of have different benefits. And this one I just kind of put everywhere, except for on my eyelids. And it gives a little bit of glow, fills in fine lines and pores. Hi from Manor, Pennsylvania. See if I back up, I can actually focus a little bit. Are you like that? Are you, semi-blind like me? Can't see anything close up? Makes it fun for makeup, but I do have my 10x magnifying mirror here. Thank goodness. And I like to take that just a little bit up under my eyes as well. Now I've already done my skincare, which was a very simple routine, and I think I have a video on that. If not, I've got one coming soon. So very simple skincare and then over top. And my skincare doesn't include an SPF, so not to worry, it's on there. And I like to take this down here as well. Now this doesn't work with all primers, but if you have a nice primer that works with your skin type, go ahead and put it on your neck. It looks gorgeous. So especially if you're starting to get like those little tiny fine lines down here, prime your neck. Trust me, try it. Okay, so once that's primed, I mean, there's no reason you have to stop there. You can go on down wherever you need a little bit maybe of glowing or a little blurring, depending on the primer that you're using, go for it. I will typically use this one on the back of my hands as well. Hello from Toronto, Ontario. Hello. Hello and welcome. Okay, so that's the primer stage and we're done there. Yes, I'm so glad you caught me live too. So much fun to be on here when there's people. So there's a couple of reasons that I like to do the lives. One is that I get to connect with you, and it's really cool to do that in person. Well, as close to in person as we can do it anyway. And the other thing is, I think it's really important because when we put videos out on YouTube, those, we've cut out all of the mistakes. We've cut out all of the, oh man, I had to improvise and do this because I messed it up and things like that. So while it does put me on the spot a little bit, I'm not too worried about just being real with you and, showing you when I mess up, here's what we do. So be prepared to watch me mess up. Okay, and if you can't stay for the whole live, I totally understand. Just come back and check and see how it went later. Hanover, Ontario. Hello. I am great today. Thank you. How are you? How are you today? So now that I'm primed, I'm going to go ahead before I forget, and I'm going to prime my lids as well. And I'm using a new one that I got by Blink. And Blink is a cruelty-free, clean, all the neat things you want it to be today. But I want to point out that, when you get all those cool things, the price tag is usually a little bit higher as well. So, and one day it won't be like that. One day it'll kind of be like when when we couldn't have any, when we didn't have any organic choices, in the grocery. And, before, golly, 15 years ago, it was really hard to find organic anything or non-GMO. And now, when you go to the grocery store, you have all kinds of options. So that is what the future will be like for cosmetics. It'll all be clean and vegan and cruelty-free and all the things. So, but they do come with an extra price tag right now. So just know that when you're trying to find the best products for you. Now that I've got my eyes primed, I'll give that a chance to sit on there before I start anything else. And I'm going to grab my new sponge that MOTD sent over, which stands for Makeup of the Day. Hi. Okay, so this is the latex-free, cruelty-free, vegan. I'm not sure why people say vegan, why they do that. Like, are we going to eat it? Is there some other reason? Do you know of some other reason that I am not privy to why we would say vegan? I think it's funny, okay? So, but there may be a really real reason. I don't know. Maybe just to let you know there's no animal products. Okay, so I like this because it gives you pro tips. That's always helpful. And I also like that these are sealed in a bag. Now, I've already opened the top, but I like things that are sealed in a bag because I can't tell you how many times I've actually gone in person to buy makeup. And when you get there, you find something that you love. It's the perfect color, the brand, and everything. And then you realize there's no seal on it, which means somebody could have actually opened it and, I don't know, just opened it. I don't want anything opened. Like, I'm a super freak when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I love that this comes in a little bag. And hey, I'm glad to catch you as well. Wearing makeup. Yes, I understand. Small budget. I totally get it. Yeah, absolutely. I am a drugstore brand gal for the most part. And then, I have my few more costly brands that I love as well. So I'm kind of down the middle. But this is pretty cool because it does tell you what to do. And it's a little bit of a smaller one. It's not like one of the gigantic ones that I recently had to throw away. I go through these like crazy. But you just dip it in some water. Go ahead and submerge it in some nice filtered water. And then just squeeze out all of the water that's in there. And it's going to grow a little bit. It's the incredible growing sponge. And then we're going to use that for applying makeup. Now, I'm going to bend down and get rid of this water so I don't knock it over and electrocute myself. That would be bad. That would be like the most exciting and tragic show I've ever done. So I don't want to electrocute myself. Now, I'm going to use this VFX Pro Camera Ready Foundation. And of course, there's a link for my pharmacy store. If you want to try any of this stuff from pharmacy, my advice is this. Ask first, because pharmacy has some really great products, and then some of their products are just meh. So don't ever hesitate to ask about a product and if I would recommend it, because I think I've tried everything on the website. So let's move on. Now, I've gotten into the habit of always using my... Oh, thank you. Thank you for loving my sense of humor. I appreciate that. I've gotten into the habit of using my makeup setting spray on my sponges before I've dipped them into any foundation. So I'm just going to spray that lightly. And what that does is it just sets everything in one step and makes applying it much more, I hate to say perfect, much more perfect. I'm going to say perfect. And then I just kind of dab the same area into the makeup. Now, obviously the smaller end is good for getting in those little creases around the eyes, and then the bigger areas you can use all over. I have used these dry before. When I first started learning to apply makeup where it wasn't as heavy as when I was in my 30s, I used this dry to just dab on my face after I put my makeup on, because I was applying so much and I just couldn't figure out how to do less. So if you are having that problem, that will definitely help. Now let me get my mirror adjusted to where I have enough light here. I have new lights coming. Yay! A little Christmas gift to myself. And boy, do I need them. So I didn't realize how poor my lighting is out here, but it will be getting better. So usually I start right in the center of my face. I'm going to need the most coverage, and most of us will need the most coverage right around our nose and area, and then just kind of work it outward. And then if you need more in one area, you can always go back. Lighting recommendations. Actually, I may have a lighting recommendation for you, but I just ordered my lights. I think they're supposed to be here next week. And there's some big whomper stompers too. So I've actually gone through several different lighting systems. I have a big ring light on the other side of me. And that's been really, really great. But I started that actually when I was doing Facebook Lives, and that's just not enough light for what I really need. So, and then I've purchased some little side lights that are off here, but they're small. They're about this big around, maybe a 4x6, and they're LED lights, nice and bright, but still I need more light. So it really depends. The best lighting really, if you're doing makeup, and maybe a lot of other things, is just if you have a nice window that has sunshine coming through it, you know, in the morning, that's going to be your best light, and it's free and cheap. I don't have that. So I really am having to work on my lighting game. So I'm going to avoid under my eyes. And if you've watched any of my makeup videos before, you know that's usually the last thing that I do. And I'm just going to flip and make sure that this is all blended while I'm looking into my 10x mirror. And I find that my nose is the most difficult area to get perfect. Are you like that? What's your worst area for getting perfect? Or maybe you don't have one. Maybe it's just all easy. Some people, I think, I'm already dropping my sponge. See, now that's something I would edit out. Boing! There it went. So that's looking pretty good on my end. I like this one for when I'm going to do a lot of things on camera too, because it has a little bit of a camera photo filter. And if you've ever like put on beautiful makeup or not put on beautiful makeup and then seen yourself in a picture, oh yeah, big pores. I totally got you there. Big pores. And you know, they have several brands that are great for big pores. So, and then there's brush techniques that you can use for big pores as well. But back to what I was saying, if you've ever taken a selfie or seen yourself in a picture that somebody else took and like all these weird things are accentuated on your face, that's just because your camera is really, really powerful. And so most people don't see you like that. And I always try to point that out. But if you do a lot of photos or you know you're going to do photos, then just use a camera ready something. You can use a camera ready primer, that will help a little bit, but also using a camera ready foundation helps. All right, let's move along. I am going to use a little bit of, I have a cat hair stuck in my face. I'm going to use a little bit of my finishing powder. I'm not a big powder person, but first I got to show you the brand new brushes. Now, nobody's paying me for this, but they did send me these for free. These are by MOTD, and this is a brand new set that they have. It is called the Glow All Out Face Makeup Brush Set. It's on sale on their website for $35, and that boils down to $7 each, so it's really not bad. And if you bought them independently or individually, they're $10 a piece. So let me show you these, because if you're in the market for something for Christmas for somebody that loves makeup, or even yourself, it's kind of a cool thing. So they're on sale for $35, but I wrote this down, so I'm just looking at my notes. See? But if you have never purchased anything from their website, it says that first-time customers get 20% off their orders. So you could get it for even less than $35. So that was pretty neat. But these are brand new, never been used. But isn't that gold pretty? Just so pretty. I thought it was so cool for a Christmas gift. So my mom, it might be getting these. I'm not sure. My mom might be getting these. And it's a 5-piece set. Really, really pretty. And these brushes, it's everything you need for your face, except for your eyes. And I like this brand a lot. Everything's, you know, clean, vegan, cruelty-free. These are synthetic brushes. Maybe I can get that cat hair off my face with that. Whew! I don't know what my cat does. I think she just comes out here and lays on my table. And you want to save these. You want to save those to store your brushes back in those. So if you have those, keep them. All right. So I am going to apply a little bit of my powder with, what's this? I'm going to use this big fluffy one. Use the big fluffy one and just get a little bit. This is just a translucent powder, just to my nose. Kind of mattifies and actually shows less pores, gives it a little airbrushed look, and helps it not get so shiny. Now, this is different than a regular face powder, finishing powders. You can use the tiniest amount. Your nose is never easy, but you only learn now thanks to 58 years old. Yeah, I understand. So if you have a finishing powder, now you may be more familiar with like the It Cosmetics finishing powder, and they're all, I'm not going to say they're the same, but they all basically do the same thing. They'll add a little bit of blurring and they will airbrush your makeup. So I love to just take a tiny bit, and I do mean a tiny bit. It doesn't take much. And then it just goes all over except for around the eyes. So I'm not going to do that because it'll just cake up. So just the smallest amount everywhere. I take it out onto my ears because I have short hair and chances are my ears are going to show. All right, let's go on to this bronzing powder. Now, bronzing powders can be a little bit problematic, but if you just use them lightly, they're not so bad. So I just give it a little swirl. I always kind of work it through my brush onto my wrist to see what it's going to look like first. And then whatever's left, I'll sweep on my face. And that way you get a nice soft look without a big blotch. And I'm just going to use this all over for adding a little bit of color to my face. And I'll just use it kind of like you would a contour. So you can definitely use your bronzer as a contour. And they do have a tiny bit of shimmer, and of course I like to stay away from those. Hi! I do like to stay away from a lot of shimmers, but a little bit of shimmer I can handle. So I'm not being too strategic. I'm just kind of want a little bit of a warming up of my skin. And I do use a tiny little bit, so it takes a little while to build it up. And if I get too shiny from this, I'm just going to go back to using a little bit of that finishing powder to take care of the whole thing. And then I'll just squeeze my brush, use it a little bit down the sides of my nose, and run it under. Attack that little jowl right there. It's just very, very light. Very, very light. When I go out in the sunshine, it's not going to look like I've overdone this. So I've used this enough to know that it will not look overdone. All right, have you ever done that? Put your makeup on and then gone out and got into the car and just been really shocked by what you saw? Because I certainly have done that. And now I've already got my eye primer on. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just use this really old, this terrible looking eye palette. It's so old, but you know, if it does the trick, just go with it. And I think I'm going to start out with, be helpful to see. Be helpful to see which one. I like the brushes. I like makeup brushes that tell you what they're for. Because if you can't instantly look at it and tell, like this one. This one is a nice flat angled brush. So you can use that for like putting on, well, I'll show you. Don't worry about it. But you can use it for straight lines, anything you want to do a straight line with. So you can use it for eyeliners, you can use it for eyebrows. And then the ones that are round, and when I say round, I mean like they're like a tube here. Those are for blending. Those are eyeshadow blending brushes, right? And they come in different sizes, obviously. So depending on where you're blending smaller parts, you use smaller ones. Bigger blending, you use larger ones. And then the flat brush like this, see if you can see that okay. That's good for like packing in the pigment. So if you are not familiar with, what brush does what, hopefully that gave you a quick overview. And then for these guys, for the Big Pretty set, the angled brush right there, it does say what it's for. It says get cheeky with it. I love that. It's an angled cheek brush for blush. Okay. And then the big one is for like all over powders and bronzers. And it says Golden Gem Bronzer to remind you of that. And then Mr. Handyman here is what this is called. This is, let's see, that is the one for concealer, which we'll be using shortly. And it's just a nice, dense, soft brush, and it does a beautiful job of working your concealer in there. Then we have Supermodel Sculpt, obviously for doing your contour lines. And the last one is Lighting Crew. That one is specifically designed for applying your shimmery highlighters. Okay, enough about brushes. Let's grab a brush. That's all I wanted to do was grab a brush. Okay, so I'm going to grab a medium size tube brush. I'm using this ugly old palette of mine that I've used a jillion times. And the color that is almost gone is kind of like a cream color. And I'm going to try and grab some of that. So if you have the problem where when you put your eyeshadow on, it skips and it looks like you've missed areas, then I want you to try to apply a really light color, skin color for whatever your skin tone is, or a whiter color will work as well. Apply that first from top to bottom, and then when you apply your other colors, it will work a lot better and you shouldn't have any skipping problems. So I bring this all the way out because it may blend out there depending on how I feel about things. And get a light coat all over and you'll be ready to go. So give that a try if you haven't before and let me know how it works for you. And it looks like I'm applying a lot probably, but there's just hardly any in there, so I'm making sure that I'm covered. And you can even go straight up into your eyebrow. And then what I'm going to do is take this, I'm going to take this color next to it. It's kind of like a blush color, like a blush, a pinky blush. And I'm going to work that into where my crease would be if I didn't have hooded eye. I don't like to call it a crease because I don't feel like it is a crease. Does that look like a crease to you? No. All right, now I'm not unhappy that I have hooded eyes, but it is different than other eye shapes. So I typically will just tap the color in where I need it to go, right? And then I'll go back and blend. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye, and I'm going to have to remove my mirror so that I can see if I can get the light right. Now, if this angle does not work for you, let me know. So I just tap it in. And then once I sort of get things the same, I'll give it a little blend. I'm going to grab the bigger blending brush, and you want to make sure that these are clean. Even if you're just using the same brush, if you clean it after you get the color on there, then you'll actually not be spreading around more color. You bought the julep shadow. Okay. Yeah, the julep shadows are really good. I hope you like them. So the comment was that she bought the julep shadows because of me. That's always a scary thing to hear as an influencer. Like, I bought this because of you. And because, that can go either way. And I appreciate it if you used my Amazon store to buy that. I appreciate that so much. You have no idea. It does not earn me a lot of money, but it does keep me in makeup. So I do appreciate that. And I hope that you really love those. I love the julep ones because they stay in place. They're great. They're waterproof and fantastic. A little bit pricier than, what I would like to pay, but, if it works, what wouldn't I pay? So, absolutely. So, and then I just use the windshield wiper strokes back and forth to get that blended. And even though I have some like textures on my eyelids, if you use the primer and the putting the lighter color on first, that seems to really help. And that doesn't mean that the textures will be invisible. And then what I'm going to do is take a little bit of a darker color. I think I'm going to use this one here. It's like a chocolate. And I'm using my smaller round brush. And I'm just going to tap that slightly below what I've already put on there. Just tapping it in. And then I'm going to do what everybody else does. I'm going to bring it right down here. Kind of like a C shape. Kitty cat, don't scratch. Oh my goodness. Don't take advantage of me while I'm live. My bad little putty tat. Okay, so it's kind of like a she shape. It's a she shape for sure. Okay, here's my only complaint about YouTube. Would you like to hear it? My only complaint about YouTube is that you can't play music while you're doing live shows. Kitty cat, get down. You bad girl. Get down. Lord have mercy. I think she thinks she's a monkey and not a cat. So it is nice to have some soft music going in the background. And I tried to put soft music in the background one time. And of course, YouTube said, don't do that. Don't do that. And I tried to explain, but I'm sitting in the room putting makeup on by myself. I promise you, I'm not hurting anyone. They're actually coming out with a new thing, though. Soon on YouTube, they are going to have more opportunities for music where the creator of the music actually gets a nice, they get compensated somehow. And then also creators like me can use their music. So I'm hoping that they'll actually do something for lives as well, because that'd be kind of fun. Okay, and then I'm just grabbing the wrong brush. I want my large, clean, round brush. And I'm just making sure that it doesn't have any extra. And I'm just going to windshield wiper that in as well. Taking a little bit more time today because I'm having fun talking to you. And then on the downward part, I just go inward. Just go inward there. Back and forth, back and forth. I knew better than to let my cat out here today. I should have closed her off in the rest of the house, but she assured me she'd be a good girl. I'm just glad the dogs aren't barking and things like that. Now, I don't get too perfect with my eyeshadow because when I relax my eyes, it's all gone anyway. So I don't do a bunch of nifty things like I see other people do. I'm just going to grab a little bit of the dark brown and put it right there just to darken it up just a little bit. In fact, I don't really watch makeup videos. I did a long time ago, but I got to the point where I really just came up with my own style of things. And so I really don't watch other people's makeup videos anymore. I will watch skincare videos, and the most of those that I like are really by like plastic surgeons. If you have seen any of Dr. Yoon's videos, he is so funny. He's a holistic um, facelift surgeon. Facelift surgeon. That sounded funny. And he does a lot of funny things. But I love to listen to him. He's one of my favorite people to watch their videos, but I don't really watch anybody anymore. I mean, if it's somebody that's a follower of mine that does makeup, then I try to go watch their videos to support them and see what they're doing. I mean, I find that interesting. But for the most part, I'm not. I'm not like scouring any platform looking for, videos. Now, maybe if I was trying to learn how to do something, that's always a great time, because I did, like when I first started to learn how to do eyelashes. Ooh, that was terrible. Well, I just try to follow the directions that were on the package for the false lashes. And I want to tell you, you remember that old movie Freaky Friday where the girl and the mom switch? And then the girl is trying, or yeah, it's the girl who's trying to actually be like her mom, and she's trying to put on the false lashes, and she gets some like all kinds of crazy on there. Well, that was me. I mean, it was bad. And I finally thought, wow, why don't I just go, check this out on YouTube? And then somebody showed me a video, and I wish I knew who it was. And it was so beautiful. She did such a beautiful job. And after that, I was like, okay, I've got this. So I just went in with some black for some reason, just because I'm talking away. Talking away. I think when I was young and my girlfriends and I were going to go out dancing or on a date, we would all get ready together. And I think that's why we looked so good when we were done, because we all sat there talking and watching each other. And so the more you talk, the more you keep working on things. And then pretty soon you're like, wow, I didn't mean to do all that. All right. Now, since I did the black, I'm just going to take whatever's left on the brush and just work it up a little bit. Kind of gave me a little smoky look there. I like a smoky eye. Actually love a smoky eye. I might turn this whole thing into a big smoke look. Yeah, I thought, well, this morning when I was going to go live, I thought, I don't know what I want to do for a look so much. I just know kind of the makeup that I want to use, and I thought, well, we'll just roll with it. If it's boring, nobody will watch, and then I'll know. I'm just going to take a tiny bit of that right under. Such an old-fashioned look, and I'm good with that. I'm totally good with that. I'm good with any kind of makeup that I like, that I think looks good on me. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are like, oh, don't do it like this, and don't bring it down here, and don't whatever. Yeah. Well, my thoughts on that are just keep your opinions to yourself, please. Keep your opinions to yourself. I make the rules for this face. You make the rules for your face. Now, caution, when you use black, it can really look horrible if you don't get it blended just right. So I'm just going to blend that out, give myself a little swooped up look. And then pretty soon I'm going to shut up and do some lips. I'm ready for lips. And I have had times when I just could not get things, and I'm just bring this down. I'm just going to bring it on down, girls. Bring it on out. Smoke it on out. Actually, I was reading, maybe it was Vogue, I was reading somewhere that there's, pretty soon they're going to have all these cool grunge looks, these grungy smoky eye looks that are going to be really popular. So that's kind of what this is looking like. Grungy smoky. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because it's not looking super, super smooth to me. And I've done this before, is that same translucent, it's not the setting powder, it's the finishing powder. The same one. You can actually use a tiny bit of that. And you want to work off the excess because you don't want to go on there, and then just use it to smooth things out. So if you're looking too grainy, smooth it on out. Kind of takes it down a notch. Okay, it's down a notch. It's officially down a notch. All right, I need to shut up and do makeup. All right, here we go. Here we go, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and do a nude lip. And I'm just using that sort of nudie color. I'm going to slightly overline on top. Okay. Hi from El Paso. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you all for watching my crazy makeup. And I like to come in, I don't go all the way to the corner of my lip. I like to come in a little bit before then and then overlap a little bit down here. No, I just did it way too much. Do you see that? Or I slipped and did way too much. I'm going to make it work though. And what I like about doing the nude lip is you can actually take one of your brushes. I'm just going to use an eyeshadow brush and just kind of give it a little feather. And it looks a little bit more natural then. Even if you put way too much down there. Okay, let's follow it up with my liquid lip. Just pretty bright. Let me see, this one's one I'm gonna use. That one's pink. This one is light pink. Ah, there we go. Okay, gonna use a liquid lip. I'm not feeling it. Not feeling that at all. Let me see if I can put a little pink on it. Ah, that's better. I don't know yet. And this goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. And that's that you get to watch somebody else mess up in real time. And, you know, fix it in real time too. I like that a lot more, and I might sharpen it up underneath a little bit with some concealer, but I did want a nude lip. I wanted something a little bit sexier, but we'll go with it. All right, I'm going to take just a tiny bit of my concealer just on my finger, just a little bit on my finger. Just lighten it a little bit right in the middle of my smackaroo, and that way gives the illusion of having just a teeny bit larger lip. Right in the middle. All right, very nude, very not much what I wanted. So we'll see. I might redo that, but for now, I'm going to move on. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this. I can't stand that like that. I can't stand it. All right, all I did was I took my cream color and just lined it a little bit. And then, okay, Google, stop. That's Google telling me I have to hurry. I've talked too much. I talked way too much. That's okay. It was fun. I have a Zoom call here in a little bit, so that's why I set the timer. All right, not at all what I wanted, but I'm going to deal with it. All right, let's do some eyebrows. I'm going to use my eyebrow kit, especially now that I'm in a hurry. And everything is in this little Ziploc baggie. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something different on those lips. Hello. I don't know why you guys watch me. Okay, I really don't. But I'm glad you do. Oh, goodness. All right, and I'm just loading up my little brush. And then I'm going to take my little stencil and line it up on my eye. So just about like that. Stamp on some brows real quick. Okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 11:15 a.m.
Woo! Running out of time. So, see, just trying to get this the right color, and that'll work. Okay, now just gonna wash this one off. I just wipe it off really quickly before it gets all set because they're waterproof and smudge proof. So if you leave it on there a minute, you're gonna need something to really clean it off. All right, and then I'm gonna go in and do the other one. This has gotten to be the easiest thing for me to do for brows. So what I'm doing is just trying to get them lined up to where they're going to be about the same. And this is the pomade kit by iMethod Beauty. Definitely one of my favorite kits. And whoops, hitting my, so, okay, there we go. 2 eyebrows that pretty much are sisters. That's what I'm looking for, sisters. Not looking for perfection. I'm looking for sisters. They don't have to be twins. I can always fix it with a little bit of concealer. So now I'm ready for some lashes, and I was going to do some false lashes today. Do you have time to do false lashes, or would you guys rather see just mascara? So the first person I see that answers, do we want mascara or do we want falsies? Just let me know in the comments and we'll do that. I was going to talk about bags under the eyes too. You know, if you have puffy under eyes, the best thing to do, I think, is to just brew some tea bags or brew some tea. Take your tea bags out after, you know, your tea has been brewed. Squeeze out the most of the liquid, then put them in the refrigerator and let them get cold. And once they're cold, when you wake up in the morning, when you have fluid built up under your eyes, then just apply them to your eyes. You know, make sure there's no liquid in there. Apply them to your eyes for about 15 minutes. It's really soothing and it takes down a lot of puffiness. So if you haven't tried that before, definitely give it a try. All right, so mascara. Okay, we're going to do mascara. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. All right, mascara, and I'm going to curl some eyelashes. Even though my eyelash curler looks really filthy, I've only used it one time since washing it, so don't come at me about germs. There's always the germ police out there, you know? No, some makeup artists like, oh, you didn't wash your thing. Well, it is important to have good hygiene with your tools. And you wouldn't think it'd be that dirty after one use, but that's what happened. All right, now this is the new one that I got from Blink Cosmetics. I've already made a video about this. What you want to do on these brand new ones is you want to try and take off all that mascara because it is really, really thick. And when those tubes are full, it's really, really hard to get anything but a lot, you know, big blob on there if you don't clean it all off. So, and this is a really, really fast lash multiplying brand. So if you don't get it all off, you're going to have a mess quickly. This is a volumizing one. And there's a discount on this one too, but I'll put that information in the description for you. But even with just a little bit on there, I mean, I have short lashes and it just really does a nice job. Again, it's clean, vegan, don't eat it, cruelty-free, all the stuff. So just nice, nice. And grab a couple of my lashes on the bottom without poking myself in the eye too much. And then before it's dry, I've learned to just go ahead and go back in, kind of blink through it, and it really increases the volume without adding more mascara. I have terrible eyelashes. Like, that's one of the worst things. One of the worst things about me is my eyelashes, so I have a hard time with them. They go every which way, you know? Like, they're not just, it's not just like if you curl them, they'd go up. They literally are like pointing in different directions. So that is very, very annoying because I really don't know what to do about it. And I've tried and tried and tried. And so my lash stuff is not like 100% the best. And I see people that just have gorgeous lashes. I'm like, oh, why didn't I get those? So again, I have a little bit too much on here, but a little bit goes a long ways. And this is that tubing mascara. I've got a short video on this. Tubing mascara, lovely stuff. So it's good for sensitive eyes and watery eyes, and it's smudge proof, and it just washes off with warm water. Only problem is it's only available in the United States. And I know a lot of my viewers are not in the United States. But I know that you have tubing mascaras, you know, in other parts of the world, obviously, but I just got it down here. Whoopsie. even though it's kind of a decent sized brush, I'm happy that you can get down here and do, you know, those little tiny lashes underneath. So I love that. Just blink it through. All right, that's the lash game. That's the lash game. I love this stuff, and I think it's gorgeous. All right, now I'm going to show you how this cool brush works with concealer. So let me make sure I got the right one. I'm looking for the, not the lighting crew. I want the supermodel. Nope, no, no. Mr. Handyman. Mr. Handyman. Now, this is a little bit larger than my other concealer brushes, but it's so nice and dense and soft. And all those little tiny hairs, even though it's synthetic, even all those little tiny hairs are going to really get into every little crease and crack and do beautiful things. So I'm just using my Pharmacy concealer. It is a crease-free formula. I'm just going to put it here, here. I'm actually going to bring it down for a little contouring. May as well just do all my little brightening at once and be done. Up here, out here. Highlight these little nasal label folds. Get a little bit here and there. Okay, and I'm just going to do a teeny bit of highlight right there. All right, now, while I'm what? I don't know. While I'm waiting for the storm I just noticed out the window, I'm going to spray my brush with a little bit of Scandinavia finishing setting spray. Okay, I like to just go ahead and work it off, work it through my brush so that it's not wet, because it does have alcohol in it. So if you go straight to your face and you've got too much on there, it's going to sting. And then I'm going to just blend that out. And it's just does a beautiful job. I love, love, love to have a good brush for what, oh my God, what is this stuff called? Senior moment. Someone's yelling it. Someone's yelling the name. I can hear you. Wait, it's coming to me. Concealer. Thank you. Thank you for your help. A concealer brush. It is so, that's like one of the things, in my opinion. Oh, okay. In my opinion, a concealer brush is a must. It is just a must. Like, I could deal with a lot of things and just use my fingers, but a concealer brush, gotta have it. Got to have it. And then as my brush dries out, I'll just spray it with a little bit more setting spray. And this is a crease-free formula, but by adding that setting spray, it's really going to hold it in place even better. No creasing up. No problems with that. Kind of swoop that upward. Blend this out. And this is definitely, you know, the Scandinavia is definitely a little bit more money. But if you use setting sprays all the time, it's worth it. But there's nothing wrong with the one by Milani. That's a really good one as well. I just wanted to invest in one that was had a little bit more, you know, staying power. This one actually does more for the hot, you know, if you're going to be in hot, humid, or just any kind of situation where you're going to be sweating, crying, anything like that. You want to be able to keep your makeup on once you get it on and looking right. So So that is that, and we are, I believe we're done. There, my hair looks terrible, but my face is done. I'm still not happy with my lips, but let me grab another. I feel like I just need another color to. Let's see what this is. This is another lip liner. It's darker. I think I just don't have enough of a color there. That's better. I don't know. I think I'm just going to scrub it off and start all over because I did this the last live too. Something about my lips, like that is going to be just the worst problem area for some reason. Okay. And honestly, if I was just making a video, it doesn't seem to happen that way. But when I'm live, it's like I have every problem with lips. So let's just redo them. I'm just using a little bit of my cellar water to get that off of there. Garnier has a really good one. Yeah, that was just bad. Okay, I'm gonna throw a little bit of, I'm just gonna use a little bit of concealer, I think. A little bit of concealer. That is a nice brush. A little bit of concealer. I'm actually going to, I forgot about this too. Use a little bit of white on my inner eyelid to open up my eyes a little bit. Sort of clean up that look. A bit of an eye popper. Eye popping. Okay, and then let's see how this one looks. I'm not even going to line my lips. Maybe I am. I'm gonna use my liner, my clear liner. Clear liner. I need to sharpen it. Clear liner, clear liner. Just sharpening it. This is the one by Maybelline. Now, if you are tempted to get one of these clear liners, they are fabulous. I like the pencil type better than the dial-up type because the dial-up type is really, really thin and these are really, really soft, so they break off. So I definitely recommend that you try that. Now, I've got lip lines. You may not be able to see them on this, but I can see them. So I'm just going to fill in a couple of those with that lip liner. And I have these acne scars around my lips. So I'm just going to fill in the whole way around. And then just lightly. Now I feel bad for the people who popped in when I was doing the other lips because they probably thought, whoa, this is bad. And it was bad. And then I'm going to try this Maybelline something or other. Maybe I can't see it. And I think this is a matte. And I didn't overline my lips with a liner that you can see, but I did overline it a little bit with the lipstick itself. Which is easier to do with I got it on my teeth too. Which is easier to do with a liquid lipstick than, a tube type. That's a whole lot better. Very, very simple. Should have done that to begin with, right? Okay, so that's it today, my friends. I appreciate you so much for watching through my mistakes and my successes, and I will put all of the links below in the description. Now, if you can't find the description, I want you to look for two things. There's either 3 little dots to the right somewhere. It's either at the top or the bottom. Tap the 3 little dots, and that will take you to an option that says description. Or toward the bottom right-hand side of this video, if you're watching this on replay, there will be a downward, like a fat V. And if you tap that, same thing, it will give you the option to go to the description. If you're watching on a PC, it's totally different, but you should be able to figure that out. But if you can't, let me know. And if you're watching on television, you're just out of luck because there is no option to see the description. So, thanks so much again for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate you so much. If you left me a comment or a question, I will get back to you. And tell me where you're calling. Tell me where you're calling from. Tell me where you're calling in from. And tell me where you're watching from. I always love to hear where everybody's coming from. And don't forget that I'm looking for suggestions for 100,000 follow giveaway, which will be coming in probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. But I am wanting to do either Amazon gift cards or some personal one-on-one FaceTime with, a lucky person or 2. So I think that would be really fun to get to know some of you that way. And that way I can do something with all, everybody from every country and not just where I live, which is in North Alabama, by the way. This is an awesome, awesome place to live if you like heat and humidity. So thanks again for watching. Take care. Bye.